Welcome to the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and the founder of the Write Your Own Story company. Girl, I can tell you right now, you are definitely enough. Here we value service, sisterhood, connection, laughter, and that super genuine, keep it real, tell you like it is honesty. My hope is at the end of each episode, you realize you can do whatever it is you dream about and that you are not alone with what you struggle with. I'm hoping that you are snapping and clapping and hell yes in your way through each one of these episodes. So if this tracks with you, let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. Hey friends, today we're going to talk about the art of happiness. Let me tell you something that I've learned. Happiness does not come from life getting easier. It comes from shifting the story, from choosing, sometimes minute to minute, to stop giving your power away and to start writing your own rules. About a year and a half ago, I realized I was living somewhere between fear of the past and longing for a future I couldn't quite name. I kept thinking happiness was out there ahead of me. When something got better, it was just all I knew was that it was in the future and I couldn't figure out how. But then I made the decision, a quiet, a personal one, that I started a quest to fall in love with the life right at my feet. And today, I want to talk about that kind of happiness. Not the kind you chase, not the kind sold to you in the picture-perfect squares on Instagram, the kind you choose, the kind you build, the kind that lets you be human. In this episode, I want to talk about what that actually looks like. How we grieve the life we thought we had. How we choose joy in the middle of the mess and chaos. How we let go of the shoulds, we move our bodies because we love them, and keep showing up, not for perfection, but for peace. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about building a life that is beautiful right at your feet, even if it's a little messy. Actually, especially if it's messy. If it's messy, you know you're doing it right. So whether you're folding laundry or driving to the 473rd activity today, you're out for a walk, or maybe you're having a car moment in the garage, this one's for you. Welcome to the Art of Happiness. Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk all about the art of happiness. And what I want to absolutely start with is this is not about toxic positivity. This is not about you just have to try harder, or you should be so grateful, or you should feel so blessed. This is choosing happy and finding happy and sourcing happy all day long, day after day. And it's also leaving room for the mess and the shitty feelings and the grief. So I want you to know that this is going to be my real reels. Here's how I find happiness every single day, even on the days where, like today, I'm not going to lie, today, for some reason, I've had a big wave of sad emotions. I have cried, I've taken a nap, but I am happy. So, okay, today is all about how do we learn the art of happiness when life's and we all feel pretty heavy about it. If I think about really what happiness is, by definition, to me, happiness is a choice. It is not a feeling that you get to feel all day long. That's not realistic. Happiness to me is being able to come back to it even for a couple of minutes, whether it be gratitude, whether it be a smile and a smirk, whether it be a song that makes you happy, a show that brings you comfort. Happiness comes in the littlest small moments, and it is not defined by I'm just a happy, positive, joyful person all day long, in my opinion. But when you are able to recognize those small moments of happiness all day and continue to work on shifting your perspective all day long, because it is a constant choice, because happiness is so often tied to our thoughts, not necessarily our experiences, because our thoughts kind of define our experiences in our own minds. So it's about choosing happiness. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the art of letting go. This is the easiest and most effective way that I have been able to find happiness over and over. So when I say that, the least happy people that I have ever encountered are those that feel like a victim. Now, don't get me wrong. I have moments of absolute victim all the time. Like, whether they be giant moments that are life-changing, from sick children to spouses dying, to marriages ending, to parents ending. There's so many moments where job loss, life really happens to you and you feel deeply sad. I absolutely get that. I think working through the victim, and it can also be the small moments of like, my car didn't start, someone left it without gas. Oh my God, I forgot the meeting on my calendar. Now my boss is mad at me. There's so many things that can make us feel like life is going against us. But I think number one, making the choice not to be a victim is critical to your happiness, because I have never met someone in the victim mindset that has ever seemed or truly felt happy or even left room for happiness to come back into their life. So, number one is we've got to stop feeling like a victim. That requires letting go. That requires letting go of the life changing events, of the little small moments. But with letting go to me, as it has been defined in like my study of spiritual practice, is the notion of, and I know this sounds so silly, but like truly opening your chest, bringing your shoulders back a little bit, and just letting go of it. Get that specific thought in your head, that weight that is weighing you down. Open your chest, open your heart, and just let it go. Now, only a little bit of it's going to go. You have to keep letting it go as it creeps back in your body over and over and over again, because holding on to that anxiety, sadness, whatever it may be, is only crippling. And I swear this sounds so easy, but it really is. You just pull your shoulders back, puff your chest out, open your heart up, and just let go. Let it melt away. Even if it's just 1%, you will continue to feel 1% better each time you let go. And it is absolutely transformational. Now, here's the other thing. It's not like you just pull your shoulders back, let go, and all of a sudden you feel better, right? But I'm telling you that small practice makes a huge, huge difference. But when something major happens to you in life, you have to hold space and leave room and give grace for the grief that comes with that. So if it's a life-changing event, like my best friend is a widow, I am divorced. People have lost parents. There's so many sad, big things. Relationships don't work out that happen in your life. And the thing that you grieve, besides the person, if it's actual loss, is the future that you saw with the circumstances that you once had. When you are able to hold space for that grief and recognize that life isn't turning out like you had hoped it would with those particular circumstances in mind, you have to grieve that. You have to let yourself be sad. Major part of art of being happy is to let yourself feel your feelings and to feel super sad that something didn't work out that you really wanted to work out. It is absolutely okay, normal, and quite frankly, incredibly healthy to just feel sad about it, to grieve grieve all those expectations and hopes and dreams that were tied to that. And I know that sounds really sad, but also with that, like, you have to let go of the shoulds. Like, this should have worked out for me. This should have gone this way. Should, I say this a lot on this show, but is the biggest red flag for me in my own vernacular. And anytime I think the word should, I know I'm setting myself up for disappointment or lack of authenticity. I was going to say inauthenticity. Don't think that's a word, although I love to make up words. But you just have to let life be what it is for a minute when you have a life-changing circumstance, and then realize that once you kind of sit with it, you sit with all your emotions. And also, by the way, grief is a sneaky little son of a bee. So it will come back and find you over and over again. And that's okay, because every time you let go of it a little bit, it gets easier and easier. And you can truly let life be what it is. When you are able to let life be what it is, whether you miss the meeting, you miss the traffic light, and now you're going to be late for your trainer, someone so important to you died. Once you're able to accept where you are in life, then you can kind of come up for air, look around, and be like, okay, how am I going to live life right here? And that doesn't mean you have to be a victim of your circumstances. It's actually quite the opposite. It's like, once you clear the air and the space out of your mind and your body, whether that be day to day or, big life changes or little changes, then you can finally make room for writing your own rules. And I'm telling you, more than anything I've learned in this show is that writing your own rules is absolutely the ticket to your happiness. Here's the key for writing your own rules. You have to kind of figure out what are your controllables and what are your uncontrollables, right? And with the uncontrollables, you have to leave room for a huge amount of acceptance. You can be pissed about it, you can be sad about it, but when you accept the uncontrollables, and another key component to me is to really lean into my faith that it's all going to work out, then you can focus on what you can control. So let's say you lose a major client and you had revenue booked out for the rest of the year and you're absolutely devastated. And maybe you lost them because they lost budget. I don't know, something that's completely out of your control. Once you kind of work through and allow yourself to process those big feelings that come with it and sit in the stress of like, oh my God, this deeply affects my ability to make money and provide for my family for the rest of the year. Just one particular example. Then you can say, okay, I can't control the fact that they don't have the budget. What can I control? Who else can I go find? Who else can I put in the pipeline? So it's really this acceptance and then figuring out what you can control and what you can't control. That's a particular example around business. But let's say there's someone, you're in relationship with someone in your life. This could be a partner. This could be someone you're dating. This could be your parents. This could be your siblings. These could be your friends, right? And there's something that's happening in this relationship that doesn't feel great to you. You're not feeling seen or valued, or someone said something that hurts your feelings, or people are showing up in a certain way or living their life in a way that is kind of negatively weighing on you. You have to be able to kind of, again, identify your controllables and your uncontrollables, kind of sit and accept where you are, and then figure out what you can do in your own control. And that's where boundaries come in. Boundaries, as we know, because I say it all the time, they give me so much of the sweatiness. It is so hard as a recovering people pleaser to set boundaries. But here's the deal with boundaries. It is so important to set boundaries with yourself and with others. So what I mean when I say boundaries with yourself is you are in charge of your own happiness. If you are going to sit and be a victim all day long, I don't know about you. I sometimes need 20, when I get those big waves of sad, I need a solid, if I can, a solid day to like just feel it, to just feel super sad. Some people like to be like, I'm just giving myself an hour and then get back to it. I think it's because I have, the kids in the business and like, it's just me at home, et cetera, that like until they go to their dads and I'm alone, then I can sit in my sorrow and whatever I need to feel, my upsetness, my bitterness, all those yucky feelings, I need to make room for them to just sit and level up. I also need to like watch Gilmore Girls so that I can like numb out. So I don't just feel really sad all day. It's like this weird balance, but I'm telling you, it's how I heal. So it's this sort of like boundaries with myself where I'm like, okay, I'm going to choose happiness all day long. I'm going to look for the good. I'm going to realize that in the morning, I really love this cup of coffee. I got the best hugs from my kiddos at night before bed. My friend called and just said she was thinking about me. And how lucky am I that that is the case? The sun is shining. I love sitting on my back patio and it's finally warm again. I'm telling you, I know it sounds cheesy. You can journal about it. I think meditating and journaling is the best, most efficient way to connect to your faith, and whether if you're a God person, to talk to God and to connect to your intuition by slowing down and really making time for your space and thoughts. But if that's not you, or that's not a practice that feels good to you, do you, girl. You could just kind of take stock of those things all day long in your head. And then maybe before bed, as you're falling asleep, just think of them as you're falling asleep. I promise you, you will wake up with less anxiety when you put good thoughts in your head as you're going to bed. But I'm kind of tangenting. My whole thing is so we've talked about like, okay, we got to let a lot of shit go. And then when we're ready to let that go, then we got to focus on our controllables and uncontrollables. And the way to really kind of execute against that is to set some boundaries. And then next, again, I started to talk about this a little bit, but faith and trust. This is all about enjoying the messy middle. So again, if you just like stubbed your toe and are running late perpetually all day long and you're just pissed, like again, probably not the biggest of big deals, but it's your choice to be pissed off all day or to look for moments of happiness all day and at least try and get like a 50-50 score. Honestly, it's not a matter of being 100% happy all day long. It's a matter of looking for the happy right at your feet and being like, yeah, there's really good stuff here too. Because life is meant for polarities and all the big and good and bad. You wouldn't know good without the bad, etc. We've heard all this. But what I'm talking about is like these big life events where you're just like, ugh. Or like, I say this on the show all the time too, these moments in your life where you're just like, oh my God, maybe it's not a major life event, but you just feel buried. You're like, this shit's just hard. Like, why is everything so hard? Why are things not working out on macro level, micro level? You know, those feelings where you're just like, oh my God, I can't catch a break. That is what I like to call the messy middle. It's sticky. It's yucky. It's pretty exhausting. It can be very saddening and maddening and all the things. But the thing that gets me through my messy middle which happens on the regular, right? I feel like life is kind of the messy middle, but is faith and trust. If I'm in the messy middle and it keeps getting harder and harder and harder, I have known, because it has proven itself, that that is where I've been buried, but I've been buried to be planted. I know that good is on the other side from this hardship, and I have faith in that. And I have trust that the universe absolutely has my back. When doors close, when opportunities are lost, when things happen, you have to trust that you are not alone in this, and that you are being guided, and that there is something on the other side of that closed door, like out there in the world for you, that's meant for you, that actually is of greater purpose for your life than what you thought. And again, that's that art of letting go of what you thought should, quote unquote, happen, and dealing with what's in front of you. But like having faith and having trust that even though you're in the hard, even though you're in the sticky, if you keep slowly and steadily going through it, what's on the other side for you that you can't see yet, but you just have to have faith and trust that there's good on the other side. That is the key to happiness, is to like not put all of that pressure on yourself to be like, I have to figure this out. We've all been there, right? To be like freaking out and be like, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. What really for me is to have the faith that I don't have to figure every single thing out, which like as a recovering perfectionist and people pleaser and pusher, I'm like, I don't do that anymore. I just sit in the faith and, work hard and have strategy in my life and have, sort of like goals and visions and standards and principles and boundaries, but I still have a ton of faith that sits behind it, that I'm going to be okay, and that it's all going to work out for me, because it always does. A lot of times I can't see it, but in this model of choosing faith, it has proven to be true time and time again. Now, I think with faith comes a lot of bravery, right? You have to be brave. You have to be so brave to write your own rules. You have to be brave. This is one where like this was kind of a realization for me. If you had something in your life that where you were happy and then something got taken away and then you found yourself very sad, or something happened and you found yourself very sad, it can be very scary to feel happy again, because you're like, if I let myself be happy again, what if it gets taken away again? That was a big one for me. I was like, if I let myself be happy, what if something horribly disappointing happens again? And then I have to go all the way back to sad. It was almost easier for me to stay in the meh, like not sad, but just the meh. It's a real word, very scientific. Hey, fellow boss babe, if you're craving less time on social because it feels like you're constantly in your comments and DMs trying to respond back to your potential customers, I totally get it. When I had my e-commerce business, I felt like I checked Instagram every 5 minutes. But what if there was a smarter, easier way to connect with your audience? Good news, there is. Let me introduce you to ManyChat, my go-to tool for automating messages on Instagram, Facebook, and even text. With ManyChat, you can set up automated conversations in minutes. No tech headaches, no coding required. Trust me, if I can figure it out, so can you. It's perfect for handling links to your offers, growing your list with DM keywords, and even booking clients literally while you sleep. It's efficient, super user-friendly, and honestly, it's like having a virtual assistant built right into your DMs. And the best part? Because you're a friend of the Write Your Own Story podcast, you can try it totally free for your first month. Just use the link in the show notes. Is there anything better than to test something for your business for an entire month with no cost attached? It's my favorite. So if you're ready to save time, respond faster, and turn followers into clients, tap the link in the show notes and give ManyChat a try for free. First month's on me. Grab the offer today and go enjoy a much needed break from your phone. You deserve it. It was easier for me to stay there than to really lean into being happy, because I felt like happiness was something that people could take away from me, or that the world could take away from me. But now I realize happiness is very much in my control, which is actually like insanely empowering. And so even when I let myself be happy again and sad, disappointing things happen, I know with 100% faith and certainty that I will be okay. Even on days like today, where I'm like, my kids are at their dad's, I have cried today. I've had to take a nap today because my feelings just felt so big. I've had to watch Gilmore Girls to just kind of like give my brain a break. I've also done great things. I've had business meetings. I, cleaned up around the house. I ate healthy. I went for a 10-minute walk. But I know that today is my sad day. Tomorrow's going to be a much better day. I can guarantee it because I've learned my own process. I know that is kind of rare circumstances for those who have kids that, leave the house for a whole day, but figure out your own way to feel your own feelings and to have the bravery to choose happy every single day with the genuine understanding that it will get taken away again. Like those feelings will be fleeting because of life circumstances, but be brave enough to choose happy over and over and over again. And let me tell you, people if you continue to show up and write your own rules to kind of define your own happiness and to realize that you don't need any shoulds, you don't need to know the ending. You just get to write your rules for how you want to feel and how you want to show up in this world. And if you do that, you just hit different in life. I don't know how to explain it, but even on sad days, I still feel like I have that. We're going to get real woo woo here for a second. I have a whole different energy field around me. I just feel good. I feel really good. I feel bright and shiny and glowy and happy. And even though I also feel tired and a little bit sad, you ever get hungover, that hangover feeling from being sad? It's like a therapy session. Sometimes I call it therapy hangover. I'm oh, I had to feel so many feelings, but you just hit different in the world when you realize that happiness is in your own hands, and that you get to write your own rules. I just am excited to show up every day and decide what show up looks like every day, if that makes any sense. But I can't tell you also how genuinely supported I feel. People are rooting for me because they see me living life by my own design and showing up just authentically me and also keeping it super real. And they're and when people are, my close friends are, how are you doing? I'm I've been super sad all day today, but I'm okay. And it snuck up on me like a sneaky SOB, but I'm gonna be okay. And I don't know. So I think being brave to write your own rules, it does require bravery, but I think that genuinely is in all of us. And I think, the last point that I really want to hit, and that hopefully I've kind of sprinkled in here, but in just a big, big, big way, happiness is a choice. It's manufactured. It's not based on, it's self-made. And the only place you can find it is at your feet. It's not in the past because that doesn't exist anymore. It's not in the future because that doesn't exist yet. It is not in the hands of your partner, who you're in relationship with, and your parents and your children and your friends. They are not responsible for your happiness, nor can they cultivate your happiness. Only you can do it. And that is with your genuine effort. So I think, I have a million notes, but I was just going to kind of go through them. I also made a bunch of lists of kind of things that I do to help cultivate happiness for me, and or sayings that really help me. So I kind of want to end the episode on just a big old listy list. Okay, let's dive in, shall we? Here's things that have helped me. It's not all sunshine and manifestation journals for sure. It's also medication. I don't take it anymore, but there were a point in my life where I really needed Lexapro and ADHD medication. If I ever need them again, or any other type of medication, I absolutely will. I got to the point where I felt better off them than on them, but I have no shame in the game of saying that I definitely needed medication at points in my life. If anyone out there is I should be able to do this on my own, that again, remember, should is the biggest red flag. If you're feeling like you should do something and you're not allowing yourself to take medication because you feel like you should be able to, I don't know, do it on your own. I feel like men feel like that a lot. That should be a red flag. Therapy has helped me a ton. I mean, don't get me wrong. So have Instagram reels, because they're basically like the Bible. They give you so many good things to think about, but genuine therapy of doing the work. That has been both cognitive behavioral therapy as well as EMDR therapy to go through really traumatic moments that have stuck in my body through life. Everybody has them. And it has been absolutely life-changing to go through both types of therapy. And although, yes, I do get the therapy hangover, which is that just kind of heavy cloud feeling or tired feeling from feeling all those feelings, it truly has changed my life. Nobody's going to like this one, but moving my body. But here's the caveat, even at a slug's pace, like today, as I mentioned, I've had all these big feelings today, but I made myself go for a 10-minute walk. That's all I'm going to do today. I should probably stretch. Maybe I'll stretch later. I promise myself every single day to move in some way, shape, or form. I also give myself a ton of grace. Like I play a lot of tennis. I lift with a trainer. That's a whole new part of my personality. So just be ready for it. I like to meet friends for like a hot Pilates class or a hot yoga class. I like to do cardio tennis. So there's plenty of like physical activity on my calendar. I also try and eat healthy, not because of my waistline. I'm so sick of worrying about how skinny I am because that's all the world keeps pushing at me in my social feed. The only reason I eat healthy is because I know it makes me feel better. And then on days that I don't feel like eating healthy, I don't eat healthy. Like I'm so sick of trying to be a certain shape or size. I just want to feel good. So that means it's kind of like intuitive eating and intuitive exercise. If I feel like moving, I listen to my body and do it each day. But I think showing up for myself in terms of movement and eating is I have directly tied those to my happiness. So I'm more motivated than not to do it. So, I mean, also, I am a huge believer in lunch dessert. I have Reese cups, the mini, like the medium sized ones, hidden in my fridge in a box of something that looks really healthy so that my kids will never find them. And I have one of the Reese cups with my cup of coffee every single afternoon. So like, it's not like I'm like, oh, you have to eat this much protein and whatever. I'm like, just do what feels good, but just know that happiness often is connected to movement and to food, and you get to define your own rules. As I mentioned, watching Gilmore Girls to numb out when the world feels too heavy. I don't do it all the time, but I sure do it sometimes. I know this sounds cheesy, but I do this, and it really makes me happy, is having kitchen dance parties. I know that sounds lame. Find your own version, sing at the top of your lungs in your car, whatever it may be. Music really moves through you. And when I'm doing the dishes for the 99th time during the day and I'm exhausted, I put my headphones in and I dance my little heart out while I'm doing the dishes because I got to find some way to enjoy it. I also love the New York Times games, all the free games. I think those are so fun. I do Connections with Ethan every night, and I do Wordle with Alex every night. And then I save myself the mini crossword. And then what's the other one? There's one where you like have to find words in a word search kind of thing. I think they're great. Makes my brain happy. I also love sending 99 reels to my friends. I've gotten better about not doing that right before bed because that really does mess up my sleep. And the other thing that I do for happiness is I rest. I rest. I read to escape. I read for delight. I put bright spots on my calendar, whether it be coffee with a friend or a walk in the woods, but I'm very intentional of making sure that like I even color code it. It's light pink. For the things that I really look forward to so that I can look at my calendar. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed or exhausted, I'm like, wow, look at all that light pink. I'm going to have some fun this week. And I really know that I'm not going to be happy every moment. That's just not how it works. But I do know that I'm going to be happy a lot throughout the day. I also am a big believer in a hobby, something that's just for you. You don't even have to be good at. It doesn't have to be something you monetize or turn into a business. It's just something that you do that's for you for the sake of joy. Here's some of my favorite phrases. I have the power to choose a different thought. Thoughts are so often our worst enemy. Fear is truly the death of joy. So I have to challenge my thoughts. I think all of us do all of the time. And so just remember that you can, and when it comes to challenging your thoughts, I like to say, pick a different wave. It's like you're out there on your surfboard. There's no sharks in the ocean because I've removed them all in this example. So it brings me joy. And you can pick a different wave. You can have the one wave that's full of fear and full of overwhelm, or you can pick a different thought where it all works out and you can think about what that looks like. When you are in these spirals, like when I'm, if I'm having a day like today, I only fall halfway. I love that phrase. You can be sad. Just don't let the whole day go to a rot. Maybe just half day. Don't let yourself fall into a deep depression. Only go halfway. So that way you can climb out of it because you're going to be okay. And my favorite, clearly, is to write your own rules. If you're building your dream business and you know you need to build an email list, but the idea of picking and using an email platform totally overwhelms you, trust me, I get it. But I've got you, girl. Flowdesk is where it's at. Flowdesk is the email marketing platform designed with female entrepreneurs in mind. Think gorgeous, on-brand templates plus powerful workflows that save you hours. I promise you, I've never used an easier email platform with such stunning results. Whether you're sending an email launching a new offer or podcast episode, sharing new news, or trying out a fancy workflow to convert a new email subscriber into a paying customer, Flowdesk helps you show up professionally with ease without spending a ton of time or money. And not to mention, these emails are gorgeous. And because you're a Write Your Own Story podcast listener, you get an exclusive 50% off your first year of Flowdesk. Plus, they'll send you $19 cash back when you join using the link in the show notes. So if you're ready to send stunning emails that convert and actually enjoy the process, click the link in the show notes and give Flowdesk a try. That's 50% off your first year plus $19 back in your pocket. Check out Flowdesk today. It's like your super talented email writing best friend. I promise you won't regret it. Now, back to the episode. So if you've got, something hard or boring to do, finding a way to love it, whether it to be have good music in the background or to give yourself some sort of like reward when you're done, or to just reframe it in your mind as to why, paying the bills is important or whatever it may be. But most importantly, give yourself grace. Some days will be absolute chaos. Some days you'll suck at everything. Some days people will let you down. But guess what? Tomorrow, God willing, is always a new day. Here's another thing that I do. I can't even believe I'm admitting this out loud. Keep a folder of nice things that people say about you. Seriously, like just messages that you get from people that warm your heart. I screenshot them and I save them in a folder on my phone. And they're, sweet texts or compliments, and I save them for when I need them. This is one of my greatest tricks. I always say this to my friends. I'm like, I wish you could see what I see in you. And I know that I am blind in the same way. So this is such a great trick to let yourself see what others see in you. And I think the other, kind of phrase that I continue to remind myself is that let joy in. That's again, happiness is manufactured. It's self-made. You have to make room for joy and allow yourself to feel it. Okay. What else? Tell people you love them, give long hugs. And then what did I say here? And also for the love, can we all just get in the car when we say it's time to leave? But that's what I don't know why I wrote that one. But like, I hate lingering. So I'm like, when I got to go, I got to go. It like sucks the energy out of me when I linger. So I'm like, when I say I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave. I don't know. That's the silliest example, but it's honestly very true for Betsy Leonidas. Apologize when you need to. Do better, but from a place of love, not from a place of perfection. And sometimes you just got to let go and be like, I'm just going to live my life today. Those are some of my favorite things. So I hope that this has helped paint a picture of how you can manufacture your own happiness and how you really, truly can feel better every day. Again, just to kind of recap and bring everything full circle, it is this notion of I've never met a happy victim. When you're ready, let it go. Minute by minute, over and over and over again. Let it go. Let go of the pain. Let go of the expectations. Let go of the disappointments. Let go of the shoulds. Let life be what it is and feel the grief and continue to move through it. Identify your controllables and uncontrollables. And with that comes some boundaries, both with yourself and with others, but acceptance about what you cannot control. And from there, you get to write your own rules. Those are the controllables. That's the most empowering part of all of this. With that, having faith and trust, enjoy that messy middle. Okay, you don't have to enjoy it, but you have to embrace the messy middle because that is what most of life is the messy middle. So have faith that even though you can't see the other side of the mountain, that it's there and that it's sunny and that everything is going to be okay. Be brave, because I think it's really brave to choose happiness because, so many of us have had it kind of come and go. And it hurts so much when life happens and it's taken from you, but you have to choose to be happy again. That only you can choose that. But I know that and you have to have faith in yourself that no matter what, because life is up and down and all around, that you're going to be okay. And even if happiness disappears again, you will be able to find it again because you know how to manufacture it yourself. And last but not least, happiness is a choice. It is all in your hands. It is manufactured. It is self-made. And the only place you can find it is at your feet. So even on the days where you're like, well, this sucks, just know that there's still room for happiness on those days. Maybe even just for a minute, maybe in 10-minute increments, but it's all within your control and you've totally got this. So for anyone out there who is like, I just wish I felt better, I really hope today's episode gives you some ideas and some thoughts on how to be able to get there yourself. I would love nothing more. I think one of the greatest privileges of having this show is to do this sort of like long-term research study on what makes people happy. And I think, so much of that is aligning to your authentic self, to do things that are a natural extension of your gifts, to be able to find joy right at your feet, and to be able to kind of ride the ride of life with a serious amount of faith, and truly like the self-discipline to find joy. So I hope this helps. It has been it's been a great life assignment to be able to write this episode and to share it with all of you. It reminds me what I need to do. And I don't know, it makes me feel good. I'm smiling just thinking about it. So if I can even at least help one person feel a little bit happier, then my job here is done. All right, you guys, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Happiness isn't about everything going right. It's about making space to feel everything, the grief, the joy, the messy middle, and choosing even in the tiniest of moments to keep going anyway. It's about dance parties in the kitchen. It's about not tying your worth to your to-do list. It's about deep breaths and rewriting the rules. It's about looking down at your own 2 feet and saying, this is the life I have, and I'm going to love the hell out of it. If you only find one spark of joy today, write it down. Give yourself extra credit for just even trying. And please be brave enough to be visible, even when you're still figuring it out. You've got one life, my friend. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for permission. Just start right where you are. Thank you for being here. I'm so honored to share my thoughts with you today. If I'm completely honest, I would have felt so cringe and so embarrassed to be this vulnerable to talk about how I found happiness. But I don't know, maybe in this journey to find happiness, it's also built a sense of confidence that I'm so grateful to have. If this episode spoke to your heart, share it with someone you love and send me a message. I would love to hear how it helped you. Until next time, take care of yourself, move your body from a place of love, and keep choosing the life right at your feet. You're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. You got this. Well, that's the end of this episode, but promise me, you won't stop here with whatever it is you're feeling or dreaming about. I hope you leave today feeling empowered to live life just as you see fit. If this podcast was helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. I genuinely just want to help women live the life they dream about. So if this type of content tracks with you, subscribe to this podcast or visit our website, writeyourownstory.co, to download digital courses or to grab a journal and a mug to just dream in and dream with. It's your life, lady. Do you. And just remember, I'm rooting for you and you've totally got this.